So this is a quick little introduction to Flippity.net. Notice the address is .net, not .com. Flippity is an awesome website that, as they say, easily turns a Google spreadsheet into a set of online flashcards and other cool stuff. There is so much that you can make with Flippity. When I started using it, there were 8, maybe 10 different activities, and they keep adding more all the time. So there are all of these different options now. It looks like the most recently added one, because it's still listed as new, is this Flippity Connecto game. So each of the activities has its own little card, and on each card there is a link for the demo, the instructions, and the template that you use. So it starts with something seemingly as simple as flashcards, although I'll show in another video this does a whole lot more than just flashcards. Some of the other tools that I have used quite a bit. There's a random name picker that I use for choosing vocab phrases to use or setting up student groups. There's a randomizer. I think of this like a slot machine. The Flippity manipulatives are kind of my obsession. I use these for just about everything. And then I have also used the Flippity Mad Libs activity. But there's so much in here just depending on the age of the students you work with and your content area. Maybe there's a scavenger hunt activity you can do. There's a board game. This is a relatively new one. Jeopardy style quiz show. Bingo game. Every kid gets their own individualized bingo board. Super easy to create. If you gamify your classroom, there's a badge tracker, a leaderboard, a progress indicator. There are even some tools on here that you could use to create printables. So the word search, crossword puzzle, word scramble, those are all things that we would associate with a paper resource, but Flippity can create them for you. Even things that are kind of just for fun. So there's this fun with fonts or a tournament bracket. So there are so many different options on here. What I would recommend you do is pick a couple tools that sound interesting to you and click on the demos to see exactly how they work. So for example, one that I have never used but looks like it'd be fun is the Flippity matching game. So I'm going to click on the demo for the matching game to see exactly what this does. And each of the demos are just going to take you to the finished product as if you were a student and this is what you would see. So I've got all these cards upside down and I'm going to click on this one and I get green and white. Well, obviously those aren't a match. I can see that there's red around the outside, so I know that they're not a match. If I click, they're going to flip back over. So here's purple. Oh, and that's a purple. Looks kind of bluish to me, but I can see there's green on the outsides. Now, once I click again, those cards are going to go away since I've used them. So I'm going to continue until I find another match. Oh, there's a green somewhere. There's my green. And if I click anywhere, that match, there we go. I have to click on the cards for that match to go away. Now, at the top of each activity, you're probably going to see some different options. So there is sound on in this activity right now. I can turn that sound off if I don't want it. I could add numbers to the cards if that helps me remember maybe where they were. And there's also a timer function that goes along with this if you wanted to, turn it into a game and see how quickly you could get them all matched up. So this is what the matching game looks like. There is, because this is a demo, there's a link at the top if you want to make your own matching game. But I'm going to show you how to just navigate the basic site. So for matching game, I looked at the demo, so I know what it does. The instructions are going to take me to the instructions for how to do this. And the great thing about Flippity is once you know how to create it, the instructions are basically the same for everything. There are 4 steps. The 4 steps are always the same. So you're going to start with a Google spreadsheet and they provide a template for you to use. You're going to have your own copy of that template. So step 1 is to modify the template that you are provided. The most important piece of information here is do not edit any cell with a blue background. The blue background is what Flippity uses, so don't mess with those. They also say do not change the order of the worksheets, which are the different tabs within the spreadsheet. So anything within the white squares, you're going to modify that as necessary. After you've put in all your information, you're going to publish your spreadsheet. That's going to take you to a link, and then you are going to bookmark and share. So that's how you use this. Now there is a link to the template right here, but again, I'm going to show you how to get to it from here. Once you understand Flippity, you've made a few and you don't really need to consult the directions every time anymore. You actually can get to the template right from this. So I'm going to click on template, and it's going to ask me if I would like to make a copy of the template. Yes, I would like to make a copy. It takes a minute for this while it's thinking about it. And then the template that it opens is always just whatever it used as the demo. So this is what they had for the demo. So you're going to see two columns, terms and alt terms. So basically this matches up with this. In the demo that we saw, we had words matching up to those color splotches. So those color splotches were each an image file. You can see that these are PNG files. There is a way to add pictures in. I'm not going to show that in this video, but I will show you how to use images in a different video. Now this is my copy. So right now it's titled Copy of Flippity.net Matching Game Template. So I want to rename that, obviously. So I'm just going to call this Colors Flippity.net Matching Game. And the other thing that I like to spell things correctly. There we go. The other thing that I like to do is I always like to rename this down at the bottom. So this is just going to say Matching Game, but I want to know what it is. So I'm just going to retitle this Colors. So I clicked on the down arrow and then rename, and then I'm going to name it Colors. I'm actually going to keep all of these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the image files that were in there, and because I'm a French teacher, I'm going to put in the color words in French. Now notice that I'm only updating what's in the white boxes. I'm not going to mess with anything that's in the blue boxes because Flippity won't like that. Okay, so I have all of my colors typed in, and now one other option, because I have text in both columns now. The audio option is set to English over here, obviously. I have no audio over here. However, if I think maybe I trust the kind of automated voice, I could put on the French audio for this, so we'll try that out and see how that works. Now this Flippity has a second tab. Depending on what type of activity you're creating, it might just have 2 tabs, it might have 3 or 4. So if we go over to the Options tab, I can choose the color for the card back, pretty much any basic color, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, etc. If you just type in the color, it will do that. Done text, so when someone completes it, they have it as done. I'm going to put in fini instead. I can choose either memory or matching. Matching, obviously they would all just be face up, but I'm going to leave this as memory. There's already a background image in there. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I do have a choice of font, so there are just a couple different fonts. I happen to like Poppins, so I'm going to leave it as Poppins. So I put in my information. I went through my options to see if there's anything that I wanted to change. My third tab over here says get the link here, but I'm not ready to get the link yet because I haven't published it. So I'm going to go over to File and Publish to the Web. And then I'm going to leave this exactly as it is. I want to publish the entire document as a web page. I click on Publish. A little pop-up is going to ask me, are you sure you want to? Yes, I want to. And it's going to give me a link here. Now this is not the link that I want to use. I'm going to close this because the link that I actually need is over in this third tab where it says get the link here. So after it's published, I'm going to come to this tab and I'm going to go to this link, and when I click on this link, Here is the memory game that I just made. So I'm going to turn the audio off because I don't really want to mess with that right now. So here's jaune and violet. Those don't match. So I'm going to click to flip them back over. Orange and blue. Those don't match. Blanc and gris. I am not having good luck, guys. Orange. Oh, shoot. Where was the orange? There it is. Orange and orange. One of them is English, one of them is French. So there's my match. Now, one really cool thing about Flippity is, let me see if I can find it. If there was something that I wanted to change. So, for example, I use the word brun here. Brun is one word for the color brown. If I decided, I don't think I want to use brun, I want to use marron. That's the other word for brown in French. I can actually change this information. I do not need to republish it because notice how it says here, this document is published to the web. I don't have to do anything to this. It's just telling me that if I refresh this page or the next time that I open it up, that information will have changed. So if I go through and eventually I will find that card, instead of brun, there it is. Now it says marron. So if you find a typo or you want to add information or you want to change information, you don't have to start over from scratch. You don't have to make a new copy of this spreadsheet. In fact, don't do that because it probably won't work for you. All you have to do is just edit your information, and when you refresh or when you reopen the actual Flippity activity, that update will already be there. So that's how you make a basic Flippity using the matching game as an example. What I would encourage you to do, because there are so many different activities to choose from, is just pick a handful of activities that you think you might use in your classroom, go through the demo and see what they actually do, and then test it out by following the instructions that they give you. If you want some more guidance, I'll have some other videos showing you how to actually create some of the tools that I typically use, like the name picker, the randomizer, and the manipulatives.